Hello, my dear friends. Let's start with the chapter 16, the timelines for reaching the new world. Note, since there is no linear time, and at the higher frequencies of the universe, there is no time. One of the most difficult things about any prediction is the timing of when something will happen. In the case of planetary events, such as what we are talking about, the timings of events change based on the mass thinking of the population. Any event may get preponed or postponed. Given below are the most likely and probable scenarios as of this writing in the year 2006. Now let's get started. Since we live in the time bound physical world, the question often arises, when do we get to the new world? Generally, this change will happen in four time frames as follows. Now, let's learn about the first time frame, that is through December 2012. Purification and depolarization of planet Earth. The planet Earth is currently in the process of raising its vibrations and moving to the fourth dimension. This process is expected to be completed by December 2012. For several thousands of years, Earth itself has been covered in darkness or negative energy. It has accumulated plenty of this dark energy. Dark energy has a low vibration rate and can only survive in low background frequencies. As the frequencies of planet Earth keep increasing, more and more of the suppressed dark energies are released, and the planet Earth becomes purified. The release of these dark energies from Earth results in natural geological activities such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, tsunamis, cyclones, and storms of all kinds. Compared to the past several centuries for which data are available, there have been very significantly marked increases within the last 10 to 20 years in all forms of natural geological activities. These are not only limited to the earth based activities, there have also been significant increases in solar storms that affect planet Earth. Our scientists are well aware of these increases, yet may not fully understand the reasons behind these. A number of these geological activities are considered natural disasters by humans. For example, the Indian Ocean tsunami in December 2004. It is true that in the short run, it appears to be very negative due to the death and destruction caused. However, that amount of death and destruction is very small compared to the long term benefits derived by the release of so much negative energy and the resultant purification of planet Earth. The other major change currently taking place on planet Earth is the depolarization of the planet itself. In all our recorded history, the planet has been divided into zones with extremes of climate and weather conditions. This leads to a great reduction in the habitable areas on Earth. The polar areas like Arctic and Antarctic are totally ice covered and hence uninhabitable. Similarly, vast desert areas on every continent are dry and do not support human life. Even most areas where humans reside experience extremes of climates and are generally not conducive to comfortable living throughout the year. In his book, An Inconvenient Truth, and the movie by the same name, Mr. Al Gore, former Vice President of the United States under President Bill Clinton, talks about the effects of global warming and how we need to curb its effects. Though Mr. Gore has done an excellent job of documenting the effects of global warming on the planet, his dream of our being able to reverse the effects of global warming seems unrealizable. Life is about change. If the ice at the polar regions doesn't melt, then how can we have a nice climate once again at the polar regions? With time, most areas of Earth will revert back to a moderate climate able to sustain human, animal, and plant lives. During this period of change for the planet Earth, many such changes will take place, although they may be considered as natural disasters by most people. The moment you realize the long term benefits of these changes, these are no longer considered disasters. Edgar Sayce predicted a number of these changes and the natural disasters that will occur around the turn of the century. His predictions, made in the first part of the 20th century, also included major loss of lives and significant changes to the coastlines as vast parts of continents sink into the oceans. At the time his predictions were made, those predictions were correct, since the planet Earth needed those major upheavals and the resultant loss of life to get rid of the vast amounts of accumulated negative energies. Now, 60 to 80 years later, the situation has changed. Planet Earth has help from the other higher, higher level civilizations who are willing to use their advanced technologies to burn up a lot of the negative energies. As a result, planet Earth doesn't have to do it alone, and mass deaths and destruction do not necessarily appear on the horizon. This time frame is the last time that we have the war and violence and polarity of finances and lifestyles that have been our human legacy for the last several thousands of years. The ones causing these conditions will try their best to continue them, but this is their last chance. After this time, they will not succeed, since the majority thinking will be oriented to non-violence and caring for each other, which comes out of unconditional love. Even right now, we have a number of higher level civilizations that are working with us. However, they are keeping themselves invisible from mankind, as we are not ready to receive them as friendly. We have been conditioned to think that they are dangerous, and we will attempt to fight or kill them if they show themselves. Similarly, if they showed their crafts, we would treat those as invading enemy craft and attempt to shoot them down. Changes are that our changes are that our higher level friends will remain mainly invisible in this initial time period and will continue working with specific persons who have an open mind and accept them as friends who have come here to help us with advanced technologies. In the unlikely event that we become more accepting, our friends may show themselves publicly in some parts of the world or to certain groups of people. To summarize, in this time frame, two major activities are going on. 1. Planet Earth completing its vibrational frequency transformation to become a fourth dimension planet. 2. The start of raising awareness of the dimensional shift amongst those most open to receive this information, which may be hard for the rational, significantly trained mind to accept. Now let's understand the second time frame, that is, years 2013 to 2020. Dismantling of the old systems and start of the new. During this second time period, the major job will be the dismantling of a number of old systems in place which have failed us. These would include financial, political, educational, production, distribution, governmental, agricultural, etc. Since planet Earth will now be operating in the fourth dimension at much higher frequencies, the current systems in place, which do not serve the good of the people or propagate polarity and separation, will gradually be dismantled. More and more people will now be feeling the effects of the higher frequencies and will open up to the unconditional love energies. These people will demand that unfair systems or systems that are not based on respect of free will of the individual be replaced by those that are fair and allow the individual the flexibility to choose. Most probably, at least some of our higher level civilization friends who are working with us will make themselves publicly visible. This is needed because we will require their technologies and their knowledge to start building new systems that will replace the old ones that we will be dismantling. Transition plans will generally be made and put in place that allow for a gradual change. Proper education and training will be provided for the new systems and technologies, some of these provided by our higher level friends, as a gradual transfer is made from the old to the new systems. Although planet Earth will be fully in the fourth dimension at this time, individuals will still be able to choose whether to stay in the third dimension with its legacy of fear and control and separation and suppression, or to start moving to the fourth dimension and acting with unconditional love. Owing to some third dimensional thinking still present in this period, there will be some resistance to the changing of the old systems, since the old systems provide the ability for control, whereas the new ones will not. However, it will be a losing battle for supporters of the old systems that are trying to resist change. Now let's understand the third time frame, that is years 2021 to 2028. Building and educating in preparation of the new age. By the start of this period, people would have figured out which of the old systems they want to change or modify, and new or modified systems will be introduced. In this time frame, the new or modified systems will be tried out. Training will be provided as needed for the new technologies or processes, and organizational changes will be made. As the new or modified systems start working efficiently, there will be a gradual discontinuance of the use of the old systems. Each one of us has to choose whether we want to move to the fourth dimension or not. In this time frame, most people will have made that choice, so there will be much less resistance to the implementation of the new systems. The majority of those that have made the decision to move to the fourth dimension will already be operating based on love. As part of that love, they will want to help others make that decision. Hence, they will try to bring others along by educating them on the advantages of giving up their old ways and finding the joy and love in the new way. Most probably, by this time, our higher level friends will be publicly visible to all and will be helping us with new technologies and processes. They will also educate us on these as necessary. There may even be a limited amount of travel to their spaceships or their home planets by some people that need to learn and experience their systems that are being put into place here on Earth. A major cleanup of the Earth's environment will start in this time frame. Using the technologies provided by our higher level friends. This will be achieved at an accelerated pace. The earth will become a much better place to live on as compared to what it was 20 years earlier. Major construction projects will start in this time frame for high-speed transportation systems that operate globally based on accident proof and non polluting technologies provided by our higher level friends. There will be there will be much building of new housing and other structures, etc. Now let's understand the fourth time frame, that is 2029 and beyond. This is the new age. The new age starts in 2029. Only those persons that have chosen to move to the fourth dimension are on earth now. I repeat, only those persons that have chosen to move to the fourth dimension are on earth now. The entire population now wants to operate with unconditional love. There is peace on earth, no more war or any significant violence. Planet Earth civilization and mankind join the Galactic Federation. Now, we are now equal to our higher level friends. Words like UFO, aliens, and ET have been deleted from our vocabulary and our dictionaries. Space travel is as common as air travel was in the year 2006. Earth is a beautiful place to live on. This is the end of the chapter. Thank you.